Okay, so that's the thing, and I want our listeners to understand is that people think about marijuana being the gateway drug, but also too, alcohol could be the exact same. Could be considered the exact same thing. When you're partaking in certain kind of social dynamics, whether it be in a club or house parties, there's a reason why they call spirits. You're actually out there partying, getting drunk, and you're getting hammered at, you know, who can sleep with who, and like people get violence at times. So people start crying their problems away to complete strangers. People start making out, kissing people who they just, and this is all alcohol.
And then the cocaine, it made me feel like super. I don't want to use the word superhuman again, but I just felt strong and courageous, not afraid of anyone. I felt bold, and I thought, wow, this is good. This is good stuff. This is what I saw in the movie New Jack City. I'm feeling the same thing, so that's good. Well, there was something that happened in Ireland that will shock the viewer, and I didn't want to bring this up, but when I told my elder sister
let's hear it.
Yeah, she laughed and she said, "You know what? That will make for a good laugh." I don't know if it was someone's birthday or something like that. I didn't care. I just cared for the alcohol, so I went. So yeah. I was moving to the washroom, left the people in the other room, and then I was going to the washroom, but you had to pass through the kitchen to get to the washroom. So when I went through the kitchen, I saw that there were lots and lots of bottles of red wine there, and it was free for anyone to drink, but they were not even open. And then there was a big pot of yellow soup. We call it achu soup because it is all yellow. So they had this shock on their faces, like, "Well, you don't know what happened yesterday?" I'm like, "What do you mean? What are you talking about?" They looked at each other shocked, like, "So you don't remember what happened yesterday?" I said, "Yeah, we were at the party, right?" And then they said, "So how did you get home?" I said, "Well, that part I don't remember, but..." So they were shocked. So the other guy told me, he said, "You went to the kitchen and took alcohol and started drinking. You got so drunk that you knocked down the big pot of yellow soup. It fell on you. You fell on the floor." And they took a photo and they showed me a video. They showed me the video. You fell on the floor, and I'm struggling on the floor. The floor is slippery, and I am soaked in the soup, in the yellow soup, trying to get up and mess up the whole kitchen. And everyone stood there looking at me like drama. And the big pot of soup, I am swimming in this yellow soup, and I couldn't get up.
Let me tell you, people hitting on their good friends' girlfriends. Some girls, trying to make moves on their husbands, on their friends' husbands and stuff like that when they have a little too much in them and they get giggly and tipsy and flirtatious and stuff like that. And then it starts ruining friendships and relationships. So it's not just a fall in the pot soup type story. I'm saying that is applicable to a lot of people, regardless if they're hardcore alcoholics or they're not. Alcohol plays a part in that to some degree. And just for you to even say that, oh, it's embarrassing, it's challenging for you to share that story. Well, again, thank you for sharing that. I'm just saying, well, there's a lot of people who've done a lot of foolish things. They don't drink normally, and guess what? If you don't have a good immune system to something, it goes overdrive. And next thing you know, the person's right. They have a lampshade on their head, they're making everyone laugh, they're doing all kinds of stuff. And people half the time are not even laughing with you, they're laughing at you. So anyways, I just wanted to throw that in there just to add on to what you were saying and to also give you some some support and also some reverence to the Most High for just giving us the clarity to know that this is applicable to a lot of individuals on the planet. And so whoever's out there struggling with certain substance abuse or alcohol, just know that you're not the only one, and don't be hard on yourself, because guess what? It's worldwide and world over, okay?
I just want to go somewhere as far away as possible from Europe and from the shame and disgrace that I have left behind me. I just want to run away from all these people and all these things that I have done.
So hold on.
Yeah, start fresh.
So, all right. So you're saying that you felt shame while you were in Europe before you left Canada? You wanted to leave all that?
Yes.
So what caused that?
Yeah, the shame is because, you know, like in the video, I mentioned that I never really accomplished anything with the alcohol, because I thought I could combine alcohol and good education and then get a good job and still live my life the way I wanted with the alcohol, and then still be successful in terms of having a professional, a good job, and then living a normal life. But I realized you cannot combine the two. Because when you drink, it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter if you are the smartest person in the world, if you are the richest person in the world, you are the most successful person. That name, that title, alcoholic, you are an alcoholic, it destroys your reputation. So I had lost respect, and I thought for me to start over, I had to move to a different place and just have new friends, new beginning, you know, get a new job, and then, so that's why I moved to Canada.
Okay. Wow, that's heavy. And again, thank you for sharing. And I know this is uncomfortable for some of these things that you're sharing, but this is what you want, though, right? You want people to.
This is what I want.
To save it from. Right, and so that's why I hope that with what we're doing, people can, like, regardless if they see a problem or not with themselves or a challenge, I would say, they know someone in their life, or if they see someone starting to go down that path, they could be like, okay, well, I remember what Emmanuel was saying. Well, I'm starting to see these same type of like symptoms or signs, and I start thinking this way about this one individual. How can I help them and be you know, an asset and not a liability to them while they're going through these challenges in their life? How did it jump from you associating with these individuals, having a circle of people, to them now ridiculing you behind your back, or having this reference? Was it a different group of people, or were these colleagues from a workplace that you worked at or something that weren't that same part of that demographic of individuals? Like, what just crossed my mind right now is that I find it's really it's a really funny pattern that human beings tend to do this one particular thing, where it's like if they partake in something, like other people are doing it, and they know it's not the best thing for anyone to be doing to some degree, when they see another individual indulging more than themselves, they kind of give themselves a slight pass. It's also those who are in your company. You mentioned how some of them be like, oh, well, I know I drink, but you got to slow down. If they really had your best interest at heart, they would have a talk with you. But at the same time, too, they'd be kind of like a hypocrite. Okay, well, thank you. Because I'm thinking, how does brother just, you know, within a few weeks, just get like, you know, residence in Burlington of all places?
God was with me all along, telling you.
You know, I'm saying, especially if you know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? If you know what I'm talking about. You said that you wake up in the morning when you're going to get your next drink. How are you feeling at this point now? Okay, were you drinking in this woman's home? You know, were you going out to bars and drinking? Like, share with us.
So I just drank in a more responsible way, of course, knowing that I've come to Canada for something, to achieve something, to change my life. And then I eventually moved to Burlington, and then it took a different turn. Because when I
Okay,
moved to
how so?
Burlington, yes.
9 times out of 10, people don't realize that they're alcoholics no matter what, because even by definition, I believe it's just 1 drink a week, you're considered an alcoholic. Look it up. Don't take my word for it. So what I was sharing was a lot of individuals after work, whether it be construction work or, they go to drink at the pub, or they go to like the Keg or restaurant, like whether it be on Bay Street, like, unwind after work, and they have a few, gin and tonics or martinis and stuff like that. Like, they're drinking every day. They're drinking every day, right? So I'm saying it's like when people just think, oh, alcoholic, they have this already preconceived notion, like a stereotypical, like booze hound type of. But no, there's people who are alcoholics who don't realize that they're drinking every day, and they're drinking to excess. All right, guys, it's time for me to go home. You know that show Cheers? You remember that show Cheers?
What's that? Can you repeat?
It's a show called Cheers.
Oh no,
it was
I
on
don't
in the
know
80s.
The show Cheers.
Okay. Well, the whole cast is alcoholics basically, and the guy who runs the bar he's a recovering alcoholic. So that's the irony of it. He ran the bar, he owned the bar, but he's a former baseball MLB player. Alcoholism affected his life, but now he owns a bar. But everyone that you would see in that episode all the time, they're always drinking beer. Right? They're there every single episode. They're always at the bar, right? So I just want to say, like, a lot of people, we even seen that visual representation, even growing up, like on sitcoms, people who are, for a lack of a better word, alcoholics. Saves, please continue. I just want to give that little explanation of what that was. Okay.
So I met this guy. I don't want to give his name for obvious reasons. So he was a nice gentleman, and we had a good time. We just liked each other from the get-go, and I was supposed to stay there for a few days, but that same night we were just drinking. He gave me some alcohol, whiskey, I think. We were drinking, having a good time. He said, "You want some more?" He would pour himself more, and then I said, "Yeah, sure, why not?" And he would pour me some, and we just had a good time watching the TV, talking about Africa, my experience, where I came from, how I got there, and he just liked me. He said, "You know what? You're looking for a place. I have empty rooms here. If you want, you can stay with me, and you just pay the rent." I said, "That would be great. That would save me all the trouble, And so I just started living with him there. He gave me a room upstairs, and then later he said, "But there's the basement too, if you prefer the basement." I said, "Yeah, if I like the basement." So I moved to the basement, and I really miss this guy. He was a wonderful person.
Okay.
But then we drank a lot. We drank a lot. But somehow he drank, and then he drove to work the next day. He had a truck. He would just get in his truck, and I'm thinking, but we were drinking so much till late in the night, and this guy just gets in and drives to work. Doesn't he have alcohol in his blood still? But it looks like in Canada it's very common. I found out that it was very common because you find a lot of people in the bar who drink, and then they get out and then they drive. I think it's common in North America, not just in Canada, in the United States too. Yeah. So we had a good time until I left, and then I decided, I had been working for some time, and then I said, you know what, Burlington is not really the kind of place I wanted to stay. Not many opportunities there as far as job was concerned. So I decided Toronto would be the place to be. Let me head to Toronto. That's how I met you.
Yes, do you want to get into that now, or do you want to save for the next episode? Because I think that's a whole episode in itself. That's a whole episode in itself, man.
Yeah.
When I first met you, when you first met me, when you first met Lennox, this is way before even Matt came along. So there's a lot to go there. So anyhow, okay, we're gonna wrap it up right now, and I just want to say that, Emmanuel, thank you again for sharing. It takes a lot of courage, and it's very inspirational. And you already see from the comments I shared with you that people like who I shared our projects with. And yeah, I've been honored and encouraged to be by your side, to keep on telling your story. And for those who are struggling with alcoholism, and for those who know people in their lives are struggling with alcoholism, and not just for that specifically, but for any way, shape, or form of substance abuse. And if you just to know the signs and be aware of it, and also just to be aware of it, to conquer ignorance. So again, you want to be a support, and an ally to those in your circle and those who you know and love. All right, This is Nazap. Thank you, Emmanuel. The last drink. Stay tuned for the next episode. And again, please check out our last episode that we did last week. We look forward for you joining us again. Much blessings. Till next time.
Thank you for watching this video. Please don't forget to subscribe and like this video. We are always excited to know what you think, as this helps improve on our videos. So please leave us a comment below. We will be happy to respond if necessary. Once again, thank you for watching, and God bless you.
Click on the link to watch the full interview.